Two wildfires just merged into a single inferno north of Reno. Nearly 60,000 acres and 0% contained. That is not a typo. The bug fire absorbed the Fred Mountain fire overnight, and a woman has been arrested for starting it. And that is just one story. Nationwide, 104 large fires are burning across the United States right now. The National Preparedness Level is at 5, the absolute maximum, with nearly 30,000 firefighters deployed. The Pacific Northwest remains the nation's ground zero. 45 large fires, NWS Spokane warning of dangerous winds today. Up to 250 firefighters from Australia and New Zealand are arriving in the U.S. today. We need them. 6.4 million acres burned year to date, 156% of the 10-year average, and rising. This is the most comprehensive wildfire and weather breakdown you will see today. Let's get right into it. Let's open with the developing situation in Nevada and California, because this one changed dramatically overnight. The bug fire and Fred Mountain fire have merged into a single fire complex along the California-Nevada border north of Reno. As of Tuesday night, per 22's Nevada and My News 4, the combined fire has reached nearly 58,000 acres. 0% contained. That is a fire that started on August 8th and has essentially tripled in size in 48 hours. Here is how fast this moved. At 7 a.m. Tuesday morning, the combined size was 44,000 acres at 4% contained. By 3:21 p.m., KOLO confirmed the bug fire alone had hit 57,363 acres. By Tuesday night, the merged Bug and Fred Mountain complex stood at approximately 57,966 acres. Southwest Area Incident Management Team 1 assumed command at 6 a.m. Tuesday, managing all three fires in the complex. According to BLM Nevada, energy release components are above the 97th percentile, critically dry fuels. West to southwest winds of 10 to 22 miles per hour, gusts up to 35 miles per hour are forecast again today. Hot, dry, unstable, poor nighttime humidity recovery, the same conditions that drove yesterday's explosive growth return today. Fire Management Team Commander Caleb Finch said it plainly, the conditions are challenging, the fuels are dynamic and dry. He added acreage is changing by the hour, and that is not an exaggeration, it is an operational reality right now. Now, the third fire in this complex, the Stallion Fire, burning separately southeast of the Bug and Fred Mountain complex. The Stallion Fire ignited near Stallion Drive and Rodero Road, 10 miles west of Nixon, Nevada, near Pyramid Lake. It exploded from roughly 1,000 acres Sunday to over 20,000 acres by Tuesday morning, 0% contained. My News 4 reports the Stallion Fire reached 22,428 acres as of Tuesday's press briefing. State Route 446 is closed in both directions and impassable. The Stallion Fire has cut that road off completely. Pyramid Lake is now being used by firefighting aircraft as a water source. Tribal officials have restricted public access. Combined, these three fires represent one of the fastest growing fire crises in the Great Basin this season. Now, here is the arrest, and this is significant. The Fred Mountain fire was started intentionally, authorities say. Christine Mitchell, 47 years old, of Reno, was arrested Tuesday by the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. Investigators say Mitchell left a home near Fred's Mountain Road and intentionally started multiple fires in the area. As fire crews arrived, Mitchell flagged them down and told them she had deliberately started the fire herself. She now faces charges of third-degree arson and possession of a controlled substance under 14 grams. Sheriff Darren Balam said, starting a fire while crews were already committed to an active wildfire placed additional strain on everyone. The sheriff's office says the investigation continues and additional charges may be filed as it develops. Now, the response. Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo declared a state of emergency for Washoe County and the Reno Sparks Indian Colony. That emergency declaration took effect August 10th and is expected to run through August 17th unless terminated early. FEMA approved fire management assistance grants for both the Bug Fire and Fred Mountain Fire, covering up to 75% of eligible costs. Nevada National Guard, military police, federal assets, and crews from Las Vegas and California are all on the ground. Total resources as of Tuesday morning, 2 hand crews, 39 engines, 3 helicopters, 5 dozers, 253 personnel. More than 6,000 people have been evacuated. 3,000 homes threatened across 9 communities. Those communities include Hungry Valley, Palomino Valley, Winnemucca Ranch, Spanish Springs, Lemon Valley, and Pebble Creek. On Tuesday night, new Go Now orders went out for Winnemucca Ranch Road up to State Route 445 and 446. New evacuation warnings also issued for White Hill, the Chicken Ranch Road corridor, and the Truckee River to Pyramid Highway stretch. Mandatory Go Now orders are in effect for Palomino Valley. If you are there, leave now using southbound Pyramid Highway. Official evacuation shelter, Evelyn Mount Community Center at 1013 Valley Road in Reno. That is the designated human shelter. Small animals, Washoe County Regional Animal Services at 2825 Longley Lane. Large animals, Reno Sparks Livestock Events Center. 9 Washoe County schools remain closed today, including Spanish Springs High, Shaw Middle, and multiple elementary schools. The bug fire was caused by humans. The bug fire specifically is still under investigation for cause, per officials. Now let's move to the Pacific Northwest, the largest fire theater in the country, Preparedness Level 5. Oregon and Washington account for over 2.7 million of the nation's 3.8 million burning acres. That is 72% of all active fire acreage nationwide in just 2 states. It is extraordinary. The Little Giant Fire, 30 miles northwest of Leavenworth, Washington, remains the region's most dangerous fire. NCWeb's August 11th update, 122,401 acres, 2% contained, still growing. Group torching, long-range spotting, flanking. 1,813 personnel on scene, 26 structures already lost. NWS Spokane warning this morning. Cascade gap winds drive elevated fire weather through Tuesday. Fires will quickly spread. If you are near Lake Chelan or the Intiat River corridor, monitor your local emergency alert system all day today. The Sinlahecan Fire near Tonasket, Washington, 147,000 acres, 42% contained, extreme fire behavior. The Kaiser Canyon Fire on the Colville Reservation, 138,000 acres, 63% contained, $42 million spent. The Wrights Fire, 17 miles southwest of Enkelium, 57,000 acres, 61% contained. 240 U.S. Army soldiers from Joint Base Lewis McChord are actively deployed on the Wrights Fire right now. The Spokane metro area has 3 fires within single-digit miles of downtown: Old Trails, Autumn Lane, and Fairview. Autumn Lane is 7 miles northwest, 89% contained. Fairview is 2 miles northeast, 97% contained. But with today's gap winds, even near-contained fires can rekindle. Do not assume a high containment number means done. The Wright Spring Fire, 2 miles west of Sprague River, 46,000 acres, 0% contained, crowning and running. The Grasshopper Fire near Government Camp, 63,000 acres, 23% contained, command transfers today. Big Grass near Jordan Valley, Oregon, 553,000 acres, 35% contained, wind-driven runs ongoing. The Hagen Fire east of Pendleton, 49,000 acres, 11% contained, active uphill runs and spotting. Luna Fire in North Cascades National Park, 3,675 acres, group torching, 0 personnel assigned. That is level 5 reality. Some fires simply burn while limited crews are redirected to protect homes and lives first. Northern Rockies, Montana, Idaho, preparedness level 4, 14 uncontained large fires burning right now. Sand Creek Fire, 5 miles east of Wisdom, Montana, 15,000 acres, 0% contained, active crowning and uphill runs. Bobcat Lakes, 12 miles east of Wisdom, 7,686 acres, also 0% contained, right next door. 2 0% contained fires within 12 miles of each other near Wisdom, Montana, a serious situation developing there today. The Moose Fire southwest of Phillipsburg, 4,500 acres, 0% contained, residents under evacuation orders. Rocky Mountain area, Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, preparedness level 3, 9 uncontained large fires. Aspen Acres near Pueblo, Colorado, 102,000 acres, 72% contained, but $99.4 million spent. 915 structures lost. The most expensive and most destructive fire in this morning's national report. Weiser Knoll near Lander, Wyoming, grew 10,000 acres overnight, 0% contained, evacuations in effect today. Bear Butte Fire 2 miles east of Sturgis, South Dakota, extreme fire behavior, brand new, 50% contained already. California, the Timber Fire southeast of Big Sur, 5% contained, active behavior, Highway 1 closures south of Big Sur. MP18 Fire near Hoopa, Northern California. Extreme behavior, crowning and uphill runs, just 10% contained this morning. Frijoles Fire near Condillo, New Mexico, 0% contained, extreme fire behavior, evacuations in effect near Santa Fe National Forest. Southern area, Texas and Oklahoma, 58 new fires reported just yesterday, highest single-day count in the nation. The Brown Fire west of Vega, Texas, 800 acres, extreme behavior, and that fuel and heat situation is not changing today. All right, the weather. And this is where everything you just heard connects to what happens next. Let's start with Nevada, because the Bug-Fred Mountain Stallion complex is what everyone watching this needs to understand. The BLM Nevada morning briefing spells it out. Energy release components above the 97th percentile. That means fuels are in the driest 3% of all conditions ever recorded for this area, the very top of the danger scale. West to southwest winds 10 to 22 miles per hour, gusts to 35 miles per hour this afternoon across the Reno Sparks corridor. Poor overnight humidity recovery means those fuels never got a chance to absorb any moisture during the night. Wind-driven runs, flanking, short-range spotting through grass, brush, and pinyon juniper, that is today's fire behavior forecast. Fire managers are explicitly saying these fires will remain highly resistant to control where winds and terrain align today. If you are under any evacuation warning in Washoe County, treat it as a go-now order and leave while roads are open. For the Pacific Northwest, NWS Spokane has issued an elevated fire weather statement covering central Washington through today. Cascade gap winds, air squeezed through mountain passes and accelerated, push humidity down and spread rates up fast. Spokane near 90 degrees, Portland and Seattle in the upper 80s, no meaningful precipitation in the next 48 hours. Air quality alerts are in effect across central and eastern Washington and North Idaho. Smoke persists all week per NWS. Mixed wet and dry thunderstorms develop across the Great Basin today, and I want to explain why that is a double-edged sword. Wet cells can drop rain over Utah fires that could help crews on the Rocky Canyon and Widemouth 2 fires. But dry cells, lightning with little or no rain reaching the ground, can spark new fires in those critically dry fuels. For Nevada specifically, the dry thunderstorm risk is a major concern given how extreme the fuel conditions are right now. For the central and southern plains, the NIFC Predictive Services confirmed in this morning's situation report maximum temperatures of 105 to 110 degrees from Nebraska to North Texas. That is the official range. Dallas around 102 degrees today. Southerly winds gusting near 30 miles per hour, bone-dry conditions across Texas. Those 58 new Texas and Oklahoma fires from yesterday, the exact same conditions return every afternoon this week. Arizona gets a break. Wet thunderstorms increasing across the state, the monsoon doing some welcome work there today. California's widespread extreme heat is slowly ending per NIFC, but temperatures remain above normal statewide today. All right, the 5-day outlook, and this is the section that ties everything together, so stay with me. Starting with Nevada, this is the most urgent question. Can the Bug Stallion complex be slowed before it grows further? The answer from BLM Nevada's own briefing, not today. Today is another significant fire movement day, full stop. Winds ease somewhat tonight, but the fuel dryness, that 97th percentile energy release component, does not recover overnight. Wednesday and Thursday may bring slightly more favorable conditions as winds moderate, but no rain is in the short-term forecast. The NIFC August fire potential outlook confirms above normal fire potential continues in the northern Great Basin through August. For the Pacific Northwest, NWS Spokane is tracking a potential pattern shift around mid to late week, and here is what that means. A trough, a dip in the jet stream, is showing up in ensemble guidance around day 4. That is the key signal to watch. A trough versus a ridge. Think of it as the atmosphere's fire weather on-off switch. Ridge means heat and dryness. Trough means potential relief. But here is where I have to be direct with you. Ensemble spread is large. Models are not in agreement on this trough. Roughly half the ensemble uncertainty is driven by differences in how the upper level pattern evolves, per the Washington Smoke blog citing NWS. I am not going to give you a false confident answer on day 4 and 5 because the data does not support that right now. Here is what we know with confidence. No significant cooling before midweek for the Northwest or Nevada. Not today, not tomorrow. Scenario 1, the best case that trough brings moisture, wet thunderstorms over Oregon, Washington, and northern Nevada this weekend. Precipitation assistance on the Little Giant, Big Grass, and Bug Stallion complex. Containment jumps. Evacuation orders potentially lift. Scenario 2, trough arrives dry. Wind without precipitation. That is the most dangerous scenario for this situation. A dry trough over a 58,000-acre fire at 0% contained near Reno is a catastrophic setup, full stop. Think about what sustained 40-mile-per-hour winds do to the Bug Stallion complex in Palomino Valley. Spotting a mile ahead. Scenario 3, ridge holds, no trough, no relief. Every fire in Oregon, Washington, and Nevada continues growing through the weekend. The Little Giant at 2%, Wrights Spring at 0, the Bug Stallion at 0, all of them unchecked into next week. The NIFC 7-day significant fire potential outlook shows elevated to critical potential for the Northwest through August 17th. The NIFC seasonal drought outlook, continuing or worsening drought across Oregon and Washington through at least October. El Nino is strengthening. The Climate Prediction Center expects it to become a strong event by late fall. Not good news for fire season. For the southern plains, the heat dome persists through at least day 5 per NIFC. Triple-digit heat every afternoon this week. Texas and Oklahoma should expect dangerous fire weather conditions every afternoon through the weekend. That data is consistent and confident. All right, let's bring it home. Here is what you need to know right now by region. If you are in Washoe County, Nevada, the Winnemucca Ranch Road and Palomino Valley Go Now orders are in effect this morning. Do not wait for the mandatory order to reach your street. Leave while Pyramid Highway South is still moving. State Route 446 is closed in both directions. Do not attempt to use it. Plan alternate routes before you need them. Monitor the official Washoe County evacuation map. It is being updated in real time as conditions change hour by hour. If you are in the Pacific Northwest near Lake Chelan, Entiat, Tenasket, or the Spokane Metro, know your evacuation zone today. Today's Cascade Gap winds are the immediate driver. Evacuation orders in this region can come with very little warning. If you are in Texas, Oklahoma, or Kansas, no outdoor burning, no activity that can create sparks during peak afternoon hours. A single ignition in those conditions can become a 1,000-acre grass fire in under an hour. We saw that happen yesterday. The 5 things I am watching most closely over the next 72 hours, here they are. First, whether today's afternoon winds cause further explosive growth on the Bug Stallion complex near Reno. Second, whether any structures are lost in Palomino Valley, Spanish Springs, or Lemon Valley today. Third, the character of today's Great Basin thunderstorms, wet cells that help or dry lightning that starts new fires. Fourth, whether NWS model agreement improves on that potential mid to late week trough for the Northwest and Nevada. Fifth, whether the Southern Plains heat dome shows any sign of weakening by Thursday. So far, the data says it does not. The trough question is the most consequential weather call in the country right now, and it will be decided by the data this week. I will tell you the moment model agreement improves. With the source cited, the confidence level stated, no dramatization. Year-to-date, 46,305 fires, 6.4 million acres, 156% of the 10-year average. We have already surpassed 2017 levels, historically one of the worst fire seasons on record, and it is only August 12th. 30,000 firefighters, 240 Army soldiers, international crews, all of them are out there right now. The official NIFC situation report updates daily at 7:30 Mountain Time. Bookmark nifc.gov and check it every morning. For Nevada evacuations, the official source is the Washoe County Sheriff's Office, and the Perimeter Map app use those. This situation is developing rapidly. I will be watching every model run, every NIFC update, every evacuation change. If the trough pattern firms up by Wednesday, I will post an update immediately. No waiting for the weekend. Like this video if it helped you cut through the noise. Subscribe and hit notifications. This one moves by the hour. 30,000 firefighters are out there today so we can stay informed and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.